All right, let's get to our positives and negatives. We spent a lot of time talking about Tucker Kraft, who not only has that deal with Kraft macaroni and cheese, but maybe they could start a special edition yak and cheese. 131 of his 143 receiving yards coming after the catch. That would be an indicator to me that not only do good things happen when he has the ball in his hands, he said he was a high school running back when he was playing 9-man football, but on top of that, when the Matt LaFleur offense is running at its peak level, you're getting the ball out quickly and you're letting guys make things happen once they've caught it, and that was what they did last night. All right, Tausch, your biggest positive not named Tucker Kraft.
Did T.J. Watt play last night?
He did.
I mean, he got a penalty.
And he almost deflected that touchdown pass, but Jordan Love did a great job sidearming it like Kent Tucolvy.
Yeah, Kent Tucolvy, sure. I thought the offensive line, 0 sacks, right? I mean, he got hit a couple of times, but I think the thing that we see is so many times pundits and people that don't watch will just stereotype and say, oh, Pittsburgh, they're tough. Their defense is good. It's Steel City. Their defense isn't good.
It's not.
Their defense was very gettable. And the fact that the Jets scored a bunch of points, and so you can't just say, well, this is what this group has always been, so that's what they are. Well, that's what they hope. Mm-hmm. That wasn't the case. And I thought our offensive line last night, and you give Zach Tom a lot of love, I thought they controlled the flow of the game. And, that was all of this other stuff is great. The Tucker and Christian Watson and Jordan Love, and you ran the football, all of that is set up when you can block people and move people. And I thought last night the fact T.J. Watt, who is kind of in that category with Micah and everything else, you saw the difference. T.J. Watt's a great player. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. But him and Micah right now, I don't think that's a comp that you can probably make. Micah and Myles Garrett are – Myles had 5 sacks. Micah was dominant last night. And T.J. at home against – I don't think there was a ton of double teams. But maybe I'll be proven wrong when Pro Football Focus puts it out. But it felt like they matched him up, and Zach Tom more than held his own last night.
Yeah, and Zach Tom went out, and then they scored a touchdown on the next play, and then he was back out there the next series. So he was in some pain there for a while, but then he was back out there.
Looked like a foot. It looked like he got his foot tied up with Jordan Morgan. It wasn't. I thought for a second it might have been a hip-related or oblique, and I was hoping that wasn't the case, and it turns out.
Hopefully
it was.
Right. Yep. I had 2 positives. One, the fact that Aaron Rodgers got to experience the opposite side, having heard the Go Pack Go chants on road games when he was the Packers quarterback. And on Sunday night, he heard them loud and clear at his home stadium of Acrisure Stadium. He also had to go to a silent count at home, which I know was something that Packers teams of the past enjoyed when the Packers fans were there. I think they should have done the wave in honor of taking over the stadium, and
that would have been fun.
And then the other one, this is a sneaky one, but this really struck me when NBC showed the replay of it. DK Metcalf is talking stuff and then appears to either poke him in the eye or at least put his hand in the face mask of Quay Walker. And Quay Walker doesn't do anything foolish. Same guy that got kicked out of 2 games as a rookie. If anything deserved getting a beatdown in response, it's poking the guy in the eye. And Quay Walker didn't do anything. He was not baited into doing anything, getting a penalty. They get 15 yards on that. They go from 3rd and 2 to 3rd and 17 in a game where they're still in it. And the Steelers can't convert, and it's pretty much all over after that. I thought, great job by Quay Walker of maintaining his composure when a guy is clearly causing trouble. So
I'll join
was a
that
sneaky
club.
one for me.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I think that all kind of got swept. They didn't really delve into how that all shook out. But great point. I think that's a great point.
All right, what was your negative?
The kicking game, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong. I've been very adamant. You keep 2 until McManus is healthy. I think McManus felt pipped. I think he's feeling the pippage of what's going on, and he had told Haversick, go make kicks and all this other stuff.
Go make some money.
I don't know if he comes back this quickly. Now, he wants to get out there, and I just want to make sure I am crystal clear on this. McManus is the guy I want kicking. McManus is our kicker. He will be our postseason kicker. He is our guy. But make sure you're healthy and you're back, and don't come back early just to get back.
Yep.
And I felt like last night it was, he's an old vet, but he has been cut for other reasons, right? And
correct.
You get to this point in your career and you see that you're on potentially a special team. And I just felt like last night he rushed. How often does he miss a kick short?
Yeah.
Not often.
Look, is a 57-yarder. And the surface isn't great. We know that. Chris Boswell had talked about it previously. They had a game.
If he's 100%, Chris Boswell didn't have any problem with 56,
correct.
57 last night.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Here's the deal, and I'm not in those medical meetings. All I'm saying is, if you give it a couple weeks, if he's healthy, he's not leaving a kick short. I just don't believe that.
Yeah,
and if I'm wrong, great. So Haversick
and then he pulls the 44-yarder after that.
Yes. Haversick should have kicked last night. And another week where you let him get healthier, and a lot of times you'll say these things and people, you're doing, no. I want McManus as my kicker. He is our kicker.
Right.
But I also don't think you better, I would make sure I'm not letting Haversick go anywhere until I am convinced old boy is back and in his flow, and he's healthy. And until I see that, I'm not touching Haverick's eligibility status as an active roster player because somebody will snap him up, and I don't want to be palming and crowning because Haversick has been good. He's done everything you hope for. Last night was another sign of guys' psychology. I really believe he rushed himself back because of all of the outside noise that's happening.
Yeah, if Lucas Haversick is, 8 for 11 on his kicks in the 2 games he's missed, is he feeling the same? You've talked about this, right? Like, you played 11 years in the league. You were a starter from almost day one as a rookie. But you were always, and tell me if this is an inaccurate view of your approach, but like, you never wanted to open the door for someone to replace you, ever.
Nobody wants to. No, and if you listen to Brett Favre, he said it. I think Rodgers looked at it that way. It doesn't matter if you're a star or not. Now, obviously, stars are different.
Sure.
But everybody understands that you open the door, someone's going to take advantage of it. And all of a sudden, guys can look at it and say, well, we're paying this guy this. And, well, boy, this guy's a pretty good young player. Yeah, that's how this works. And that's why guys are super insecure. And when narratives get spun, they get irritated. And they should, because it's their livelihood. So when Jason Wilde is saying, oh, boy, this guy's he's a little lot less expensive. He's a pretty good player. Oh, maybe we do this. Those narratives happen, and it pisses players off. And that's why players always do whatever they can to get out there and play so that they don't open that narrative door.
Only one of them has kicked in a Super Bowl. Only one of them has a decade of experience. Tausch is right in his mentality. I do think it's noteworthy that they needed to create a roster spot. They were at 53 to get Christian Watson onto the roster, and it was Chipotle Ben that got the boot and they kept Lucas Havrisik and did not expose him to the waiver wire. So I think that says something in terms of their value that they see in him. And Matt LaFleur, look, last night after the game, again, in his basically one-on-one with Pete Doherty last night, acknowledged that they're going to reassess and reevaluate. Now, he does make 28 and 25-yarders in the second half. He made all of his extra points that he attempted. But you can, look, they clearly trust him. No one's saying they shouldn't either, not even you who brought this point up. The point is that while he gave the thumbs up at the end of his workout before the game, it was probably influenced a little bit as someone who doesn't want to get pipped, Wally pipped, which you don't have to worry about on Wisconsin's Morning News on 620 WTMJ. We need to get to your calls. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776.